goes in the boat.
All right, singles party.
Would you all please stand?
With your loving, there ain't nothing that I can't adore. The way I'm running with you, honey, is we can break every law. I find it funny that you're the only one I never looked for. There is something in your loving that tears down my walls. I wanna ready there, I'm ready now. I'm headed straight for
Sorry.
you. Will only be eternally the one that I belong to. The
You all may have a seat. Well, we are gathered here today in the sight of God and in the presence of people who care about Tyler and Sidney to join these two together in holy matrimony. And it is a wonderful day for these two families. It's a great day of celebration for everyone, especially for Sidney and for Tyler as they celebrate their love. One of the most beautiful expressions of love comes from the book of Ruth, when Ruth says, to stop pushing me away, insisting that I stop following you. Wherever you go, I will go. Wherever you live, I will live. Your people will be my people, and your God will be my God. Since the beginning of time, it is this kind of love that has brought young men and women together in marriage. And it's this type of love that Tyler and Sidney feel for one another. And despite her face, she is excited to share this with you all today. Who gives this woman to be married to this man? All right. Would you join their hands together, sir? All right, you can have a seat.
David?
Marriage is an honorable and sacred relationship. It was ordained by God at the time of creation for the well-being of humankind. Marriage is safeguarded by the laws of Moses, affirmed by the words of the prophets, and made holy by the teachings of Jesus. Marriage is a close and enduring union, a relationship in which a man and a woman forsake all others to become one flesh. And this abiding union illustrates the relationship between Christ and the church. And so marriage is therefore not to be entered into lightly, but reverently, soberly, and in the fear of God. Marriage is a commitment to life, to the best that two people can find and bring out in each other. It offers opportunities for sharing and for growth that no other relationship can equal. Marriage encourages and nurtures new life, new experiences, and new ways of expressing love through life's seasons. When two people such as Sidney and Tyler pledge to love and care for one another in marriage, they create a spirit that is unique to themselves, which binds them closer than any spoken or written words. Marriage is a promise that's made in the hearts of two people that takes a lifetime to fulfill. And so Tyler and Sidney, I encourage you both as you stand in the presence of your friends and of your family and in the presence of God to remember that only a covenant kind of love is sufficient as the foundation for a happy and enduring home. Let Christ, who was loyal unto his death, be your example. and let the Apostle Paul be your teacher, who wrote in 1 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 13, some of Sidney's favorite words I learned. Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It is not rude. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered, and it keeps no records of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with truth. Always hopes, always perseveres. If you keep this kind of love before you and remaining faithful to each other and fulfill the vows that you will make, God's blessing will be upon you, and the home that you establish will endure through life's every change and storm. But before we get to those vows, I'd like just to remind us of how we got here today. Their story began before they even met. One day, Tyler was in the office talking with Carla. This was back in 2018. And they were talking about women. And Tyler made the comment that he seemed to have an attraction to short brunettes with green eyes. Well, when Carla showed Tyler a picture of Sid, he thought, that's pretty much it. Well, a month later, Carla had a birthday party at her house, and there were some folks from the funeral home and some neighbors who were there, and Tyler was finally making some friends. Tyler ran into Aunt Libby, who was with her neighbor Christy. And as an aunt with a single niece, I would imagine the question of whether or not Tyler was single would come up. Libby told Tyler about Sid, and then she told him that she thought they'd be a good fit. Well, Tyler, being the smart guy that he is, put two and two together, and he realized that Libby's niece was the girl in the picture that Carla had showed him. But it took nearly a year for them to actually meet. Tyler was back at Carla's house hanging out with Todd one day, and Sid happened to be out in the neighborhood with Uncle Kuda. And thankfully Todd saw them and called them over. But either that day Tyler played it cool, or he was nervous because he didn't talk to Sid all that much. However, he did manage to get her number, and he asked her out. Sid suggested a few places downtown. They decided on Saltus. But rather than pick her up, they decided just to meet at the restaurant. Well, Tyler got there early to make sure that the reservations were in order, and he sat there and he waited. And he waited a little longer. Well, when Sidney did show up, she was clearly out of sorts, and she said, "I'm sorry I'm late, my pants busted." And somehow that was the icebreaker that the evening needed. And Tyler said it was the best and last first date that he's ever had. For those who know Tyler and Sidney, it is clear that they love one another. Sidney, Tyler loves that you are never afraid to give him your honest opinion, whether he wants to hear it or not. You need to keep doing that. He loves that you support him when he feels alone. He loves your squeaky laugh. And he said your sense of humor was contagious. He also loves that he will always be needed, since you can't reach things that are all that high. It's clear that he loves you, but there are some things that he's not so crazy about, Sid. Like how many times you will change outfits before you go out. Like how you get angry when you get hungry. And how being late was not just a one-time thing. Tyler, Sidney loves you as well. She loves your drive and your passion towards the things that you want in life. I would encourage you to be passionate about her and your marriage. Sidney loves your sense of humor, and how even though she gets mad at you, she can't help but smile. I imagine she gets mad quite often. And she loves that you look great in a suit. But Tyler, there are some things that she's not so crazy about. Like how you're never wrong about anything. And how despite looking, you can never find anything around the house. And she also doesn't like how you complain about other people's driving despite driving the same way. Well, ever since you all met that day at Carla's house, your stories have merged together. And they will ultimately merge together today when you make a commitment to one another. And we see that commitment and these vows. And so I'm going to ask you a series of questions. And Tyler, I'm going to begin with you. If you agree, please answer, I do. Tyler, do you take Sidney to be your wedded wife, to live together in the holy estate of matrimony? Do you promise to love her, comfort her, honor and keep her in sickness and in health, and forsaking all others, keep yourself only for her as long as you both shall live? Sidney, do you take Tyler to be your wedded husband, to live together in the holy estate of matrimony? Do you promise to love him, comfort him, honor and keep him in sickness and in health, and forsaking all others, keep yourself only for him so long as you both shall live? Now, Tyler, this is the part that is going to require your brain. I'm gonna say a few words, and I want you to repeat after me, but there's only a few words, Tyler. I, Tyler, take you, Sidney.
I, Tyler, take you, Sidney.
To be my wedded wife.
To be my wedded wife.
To have and to hold.
To have and to hold.
From this day forward.
From this day forward.
In plenty and in want.
In plenty and in want.
In joy and in sorrow.
In joy and in sorrow.
In sickness and in health.
In sickness and in health.
To love and to cherish.
To love and to cherish.
Till death do us part.
Till death do us part.
Sidney, if you'll repeat after me. I, Sidney, take you, Tyler, to be my wedded husband, to have and to hold from this day forward, in plenty and in want, in joy and in sorrow, in sickness and in health, to love and to cherish, till death do us part. May I have the rings? Oh, we practiced this. The wedding ring is a symbol. It is a never-ending circle that symbolizes a commitment to this marriage that will only end when life on this earth ends. Those who see these rings on your hands will recognize that you two have made a commitment. And these rings will remind you that you have pledged to each other, before God and in our presence, a commitment that will transcend differences, selfishness, and the inevitable difficulties that family encounters. Tyler, would you take her ring and place it on the third finger of her left hand and repeat after me? I give you this ring as a symbol and pledge of my constant trust and abiding love. And Sidney, would you take this ring, place it on the third finger of his left hand, and repeat after me. I give you this ring as a symbol and pledge of my constant trust and abiding love. For as much as Tyler and Sidney have consented together in holy wedlock and have witnessed the same before God and the folks here, and they have pledged their commitment and covenant love to each other, I therefore, by the authority granted me as a minister of Jesus Christ, pronounce that they are husband and wife. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, let those whom God has joined together, let no man pull apart. Tyler, you may kiss the bride. I present to you Mr. and Mrs. Sommer.